Hello, welcome to Dun Girls Podcast. I'm Rose Justin. Today, for Batman Month, we're reviewing Batman Forever, which is a 1995 action-adventure movie. It's 2 hours and 2 minutes, directed by history's greatest monster, Joel Schumacher, which that's a robot chicken joke. Yeah. So the movie stars Val Kilmer as Batman Bruce Wayne, Jim Carrey as Riddler, or Edward Nygma, Tommy Lee Jones as Harvey Dent Two-Face, who was played by Billy D. Williams in the Burton movies, but they changed it to Tommy Lee Jones in this movie. Which, if you want to see Billy D. Williams Two-Face, you have to check out the Batman '89 comic book series, right? Which I think issue 2 came out. I'm not 100% sure on that. You got Nicole Kidman as Dr. Chase Meridian. If that's a character from the comics, I don't know. I've never read about that character. Chris O'Connell as Robin, aka Dick Grayson, who in this movie they say he got the idea of Robin because from the bird, some story about his dad. In the comic books, and I forgot to mention this during my Batman Arkham Clayface book, but in the Golden Age, one of the Golden Age comic books, when they intro Robin, they literally say that it's like he's the Robin Hood of crime fighting. Robin is actually called Robin because he's based off Robin Hood, not Robin as the bird, right? Which I had heard about that like a while ago, but like I never got confirmation. Apparently Robin is, according to the Golden Age comic book I read during my Batman Arkham Clayface review, Robin is based off Robin Hood, not Robin as the bird. Alright? Yeah. Also, Michael Gold, I forget how you pronounce his name, is as Alfred, right? So I gotta say, I am somewhat nostalgic for this movie, right? I had all the toys, right? And even though, like I said, I didn't like those this movie as a kid, there are some things about this movie I actually do enjoy. And I'm going to be rating this movie based off, as a Batman movie, not so much as a comic book movie, right? Because they get some stuff right, some stuff wrong, right? So the story for this movie is basically Batman, who's played by Val Kilmer, who at first has a costume that's very reminiscent of the Batman '89 Tim Burton movie costume, but then at the end of the movie he gets like a new costume, right, which looks actually pretty cool. It's very silver-esque, right? Has a silver sheen to it, which looks nice, right? Though all the Batman costumes in this movie have the stupid bat nipples. And there, at one scene where like Val Kilmer puts on the costume, there's a close-up on his ass. So it's like Joel Schumacher, who is a homosexual, by the way. Yeah, there's some. It's, you could tell by the way this movie was made, right? Yeah. So the story for this movie is basically there's a couple plots. You got Batman's main villain for halfway through the movie is like Two-Face, right? And like you have this Jim Gordon, the commissioner, brings in this psychiatrist to help Batman like figure out how to stop Two-Face, and who's played by Nicole Kidman, who has a thing for Batman, and Bruce Wayne goes to meet her, and like he almost like throughout the movie he's like it's almost like he's trying to get doxxed or found out that he's Batman, right? The point where like there's like several scenes in the movie where he almost comes out as Batman, right? Which he eventually does to Nicole Kidman's character, right? Other subplots in the movie: Edward Nygma, who was working for Bruce Wayne, right? Who has a thing for Bruce Wayne, right? Developed this like technology where like it's kind of like 3D TV, but it's beaming signals into your head, right? So like you're feeling the sensations of what's going on in whatever program you're watching, right? But he mentions how it manipulates brainwaves, and Batman doesn't like that, so he has him can the project, right? And Riddler kills his supervisor, right? Because like you know he fires him, right? Eventually sees Two-Face, right? And decides on his persona as the Riddler, which is based off all these like Riddler toys he has. It's like what the hell, man? Like you would think he would get sued by whoever made those toys that he stole, like the likeness and stuff. Whoa, right? But yeah, he becomes the Riddler, joins Two-Face and trying to stop Batman, where they come up with a plan to figure out who Batman's identity is. While that is also going on, Bruce Wayne goes on a date with Dr. Chase Meridian at this like circus show where it's almost like the Circus du Soleil, and that's where you get introduced to Chris O'Donnell's Dick Grayson as the Flying Graysons, right? Where they're like trapeze. I think what was it called? Like trapeze artists or acrobats or whatever, right? And you know, Two-Face comes to rob the place, demanding that Batman reveal himself because like at this charity circus show, it's mostly like the rich and the elite. So even Two-Face has a good idea that Batman would have to be a rich dude to like you know do what he does, and like literally Bruce Wayne is like screaming at the top of his lungs, "I'm Batman, Harvey, I'm Batman," but like nobody could hear him, right? So he goes down, beats the shit out of his criminals without the costume, by the way. And like the Graysons, which is the father, mother, and older brother, go to stop Two-Face and his goons, right? And Two-Face murders them, and while that's going on, Chris O'Donnell gets rid of the bomb, right? After that, like you know, after that, Bruce Wayne adopts Dick Grayson, which Dick Grayson in this movie, I don't know how old Chris O'Donnell was, but he's obviously over 18, but I guess he's supposed to be a teenager in this movie. Which, this movie, apparently Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to play Robin in this movie, which would have made more sense because he was very young looking in the 90s, right? But yeah, I guess he turned it down. he turned it down, right? So they got Chris O'Donnell, which I think Leonardo DiCaprio, I don't know. Maybe if he dyed his hair black, which they didn't even do that for the Bruce Wayne or Robin in this movie, so I don't know. He could have been like a decent choice for Robin, right? Yeah. So like Chris O'Donnell's character is like a young rebel kind of character who wants to get revenge on Two-Face. Eventually, he finds out Bruce Wayne's secret, wants to become, you know, his sidekick. Does at the end of the movie, right? And here's the thing, right, about this movie is that like Bruce Wayne tells Robin that he can't become his sidekick if he doesn't give up his thirst for vengeance against Two-Face. And then spoiler, at the end of the movie Batman ends up killing Two-Face, right? And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Because before that, Batman, despite the fact in the Tim Burton movies Batman kills, Batman goes through a lot of trouble not killing in this movie, right? He even saved some divers that were attacking him after they blown up. Riddler had blown up the bat plane and the bat uh, jet boat or whatever that whatever vehicle Robin was using, right? So like he goes out of his way not to kill criminals in this movie, right? And then he kills Two-Face when he told Dick, "Hey, you can't kill Two-Face." It's like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. So I'm gonna get into my likes and dislikes. I thought there was decent action scenes in this movie. They kept up with the Art Deco Gothic aesthetic. There's a lot of neon lights in this movie, which I think there was some in the original, right? Tommy Lee Jones' performance as Two-Face is very energetic. You would think a serious actor like him would have, phoned it in, but no, he actually gave a really great performance, right? I'm not saying it's Oscar worthy, but it's like he actually gave a shit while filming this movie. That's obviously like, they're going for like a Batman 1966 kind of feel. The old like Adam West, Burt Ward, like, TV show that has like that has a lot of energy to that, right? Also, I forgot to mention they name dropped Metropolis, like, Superman's like, Superman's like city, which apparently there was supposed to be like a Superman, like I heard that like after like Tim Burton was fired off Batman Forever, he was supposed to work on a Superman movie with Nicolas Cage, which that Superman movie sounded like fucking crazy, honestly. Because it's like literally Superman loses his powers and becomes like, he kind of becomes like another Batman character. He even has like a Superman mobile, and he fights like a giant spider at the end of the movie. Right? Yeah, and apparently, what's his name? Kevin Smith wrote that script. I don't know if that's true, but like no, I don't think he was famous at that point, right? But yeah, so like so this movie, that line might have been left in there because there was supposed to be a Superman movie. So I think that line was put in there as a tie-in to that movie if that movie had come out, which obviously he never did, right? But which sucks because I would have. Nicolas Cage is obviously a terrible choice for Superman, right? But it would have made an interesting movie, right? It would have made an interesting movie, right? Sorry. I'm trying to think of other things. Val Kilmer as Batman. I really liked his performance. He plays stoic very well, and Batman, is a very stoic character, and he was like awesome as both Batman and Bruce Wayne. And if you listen to his Batman voice, he's obviously doing like a subtle impersonation of Kevin Conroy. Though you have to watch the early Batman the Animated Series to see the resemblance, because obviously Kevin Conroy's voice has got a lot deeper sense like Batman the Animated Series. So it's like in the earlier Batman the Animated Series episodes, his voice was softer, right? So yeah, I really like that. He kind of paid homage to like the Batman the Animated Series by doing like impersonation of Kevin Conroy, who's probably the definitive like Batman voice actor in my opinion. Now we're going to get into the dislikes. My biggest dislike in the movie is probably Jim Carrey as the Riddler. He was fucking his his performance is just like, oh my, his character, it's just cringe, right? It made the movie almost unwatchable to me. Like whenever his scenes would come on, I would like, pause and walk away. I started watching this movie like, yesterday, right? Yesterday evening, and I'm just finishing it now. Like almost like 24 hours later. That's how fucking cringe his performance is. Where it took me like almost like 24 hours to fucking watch this movie, dude. Because whenever his scenes would come on, I would just cringe, right? Oh my god. Oh, it was his. It was just so bad, man. His scenes, right? Oh, I forgot to mention Rick Baker did the makeup effects for the makeup effects for this movie. So like the Two-Face, like makeup, I thought looked good, right? My other dislikes: the bat nipples are gay as hell. uh, and even as a kid, I would get some of the gay stuff in this movie. What made me cringe, right? Uh, Man, and we're gonna see more of that when we review Batman and Robin, which we're definitely gonna review Batman and Robin for Batman month. So if I were to give this movie a rating, right? I'll give my last thoughts first. Here's the thing. Though this is probably a very cringe Batman movie, you have to give it props that they had a Batman movie where they actually had Robin in it, where before the only times you had like Batman and Robin together was in the old serials and the Batman 66 movie, right? Or whatever year that movie came out. So like since then you have these Batman movie makers who make Batman movies and don't want to have like Robin in there at all. And I don't give a shit what anybody says. Like that guy from the third Dark Knight movie, Dark Knight Rises. What's his name? Gordon Levitt. Yeah, he's not. Unless his name is Dick Grayson, he's not fucking Robin. I don't give a shit. There was a subtle thing where like, oh, they made his middle name Robin, and that makes him Robin. I don't give a shit about that. Right? So like, we haven't had movies that had Robin in there, and even the new fucking Batman movie doesn't have Robin in it. So you gotta give the Joel Schumacher props, where they actually incorporated they incorporated the Bat family into the mix. So they get some props for that. So I'm giving this movie, even though there's some cringy scenes in this movie, if you can go get through that, it's a decent, this is a decent movie. And Nicole Kidman is fucking hot as hell in this movie, and this is probably the hottest she's ever been in the movie, right? So I'm giving the movie a 5 out of 10. Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for this review. Peace. Oh, after this, we're reviewing Batman Earth One. All right, by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. All right, bye.